guys, and I will be the trainer for Intune. Along with Intune, I also teach SCCM and application packaging. Uh, and I actually work as an architect for one of the firms in Bangalore. And basically, I design end user computing infrastructures. And these days, we are getting a lot of Intune projects, and I'm primarily working on modern device management. That is nothing but executing your Intune projects. Okay, my class is going to be completely practical. That is, I will tell you whichever I can show the asset production scenarios. I will show it practically. Now you can ask me, Kishore, how will you show it practically? How will the lab be? So lab is going to be, all that I need is, I would need you guys to have a small virtual machine in your personal laptop, or in your office laptop you have a Hyper-V enabled. Spin up one Windows 10 machine. That's enough. Everything else on the Intune side, I will give you, and you can go forward from there. And while doing any topic, I'll be referencing to a lot of issues that you might face in the production based on the kind of environments you'll be working. So there will be only two environments that you'll be working. That will be hybrid Azure Ready Join or Azure Ready Join. I'll tell you what is this also. Okay. After that, you will have to, after every class is done, a recording will be given to you. Okay. And even after the class is over, your relationship with me will continue, because Intune will be evolving. You might get some doubt, or you might have an idea, you might be stuck somewhere. Maybe if you want to talk to me about it, you can always give me a call and you can talk to me. Okay, this is how I work with my students. Now, let me give you an idea of what is this exactly this Intune is. All of you guys know that it is a cloud product, and SCCM is selling, Microsoft is selling Intune as the alternative to SCCM in cloud. So that's what Microsoft is doing currently. But is it so stable as SCCM, or is it having all the features as SCCM? Not yet. There are a lot of features that is being added. Okay, and but there are few certain projects that you will be doing in Intune. So there are about, say, first thing is you will be doing application deployment. So there are two types here. There is Win32. We'll talk very, they are very much different to each other. End of the day, it's deploying an app, but the way it deploys is different. Then you have image management. So how is it doing the image management? Using autopilot. Okay, whereas we are in a system use task sequence, right? Next, patch management. How is the patch management happening? So it is happening using Windows Update for Business. You'll know more detail about all these things along with Magus, but these are the three regularly ongoing projects. Any kind of a project you touch, you will have either one of these, especially autopilot in most of them. Okay, now as I said, in your production, you will be doing only working on two environments. It would be Azure AD Join or hybrid AD Join. Now, let me give you an idea. Now, what happens is, how your Intune works is, simplistically, Intune is just a feature in your Azure Active Directory. Okay, it was just a feature. I would say not as, it was just a feature. Now what they did, they spin it up into a separate product, and now it is become a separate product. To access it, how will you access it? You will use one second. Yes, you will use something called as endpoint.microsoft.com. If you click on endpoint.microsoft.com, you will be able to access. Now, let me give you a clear-cut difference, okay, of what is this Azure Edition and Hybrid Edition before even you go to Intune. Only if you understand this, you will understand how Intune works later. Only if you understand this, you'll understand how Intune works. So let me give you a description on that. So first, let me explain Azure AD Join. So when I said Azure AD Join, I say it is cloud native. So what I meant by cloud native is that you don't have your on-premise Active Directory at all. No on-premise AD, it is only your Azure Active Directory that is present, and your machine can be accessed by your Azure Active Directory when it is anywhere over the internet. That is over the air management. That is over the internet management. Now, how that will be is, let me show you. Okay, we have an Azure Active Directory enabled. Okay, say we have an Azure Active Directory enabled. Now, what will happen? Let's take a client. Okay, let's take a client. We will call it as client 1. Client 1. Now, first what will happen is this client will be joined to your Azure Active Directory. Okay, the client will first join your Azure Active Directory. Now, your Intune is just a feature. Okay, your Intune is just a feature that is part of your Azure products. So once your client 1 comes in your Azure Active Directory, once it is enrolled or when it is talking to your Azure Active Directory, then your Azure Active Directory will say, hey, Intune, I have client 1, I have so many devices, out of which client 1 is a device, I want you to manage it. So what Intune will say, okay, I will manage it, and it will take that client 1. The word we use in the Intune, we call it as enrollment to Intune. So now we'll take it to Intune. So we have our client 1 here. Now once it comes to Intune, what will happen is Intune will be able to do what? It will be able to deploy applications, deploy patches, or I would say instead of saying deploy patches, I would say control patches, control patch deployment. Then it can perform Intune Autopilot. It can apply policies. So all of it, your Intune can do to your client 1. This is in the Azure Edition. No hassle, nothing, very simple deployment. Very, very simple. Okay. Now let's go to hybrid Azure Edition. So I need more space for that, because it's kind of a little bit complicated. Again, here I will have my cloud, that is my Azure Active Directory will be there. Directly. So this is my hybrid Azure Edition. And I will also have my on-premise Active Directory. So here I have my on-premise ID. On my on-prem ID, I already have my client one machine. I already have my client one machine here. I already have a client one. Let me put the machine here. So it was a 7. So I have my client one here. Now on my on-premise ID, I already have my client one, and it is talking to my client one. Now what will happen is there is something called as Azure AD connector. So using Azure AD connector, what I will do, I will sync all my devices from my on-premise Active Directory to my Azure Active Directory. So your client one will come here because of your Azure AD connector. Okay, now this is done. Okay, your Azure AD connector is doing, your client one is come. Now you might also have your Intune again in the cloud. Okay, you have your Intune again in the cloud. You have your Intune here. Now what will happen is same thing. Whatever happened in Azure on Azure AD Join, once the machine comes to Azure Active Directory, from there it will come to your Intune. Okay, from there it will come to your Intune. You can see here, and your Intune will be able to again perform the same thing what your Azure AD Join did. Now you might ask me, Kishore, okay, now I have SCCM in my environment and it is talking. I have my SCCM in the environment. Okay, here I have SCCM, or let me put it easy way. Here I have my SCCM. Okay, which is already talking, okay, to my client. I have a client, or I can say client is already talking to my SCCM. Okay, now I have my Intune. I have my Intune managing this device, and I also have my SCCM managing this device, this client one device. So this is what we call as a co-management in our end user computing infrastructure. So there will be something called as workloads. Okay, so we will divide the work between your Intune and SCCM. Say if your Intune is deploying the patch, SCCM will not deploy the patch. That can be configured within your SCCM. We will talk in detail, very much in detail. That's like co-management itself is 1 hour class. Okay, how it works, what all issues will come, how can you troubleshoot, how will the device be seen in the Intune, all of it I will tell. Okay, as soon as you see the console, you see co-management, you will know so many things that happen in the background once that class is over. Now what will happen here again? Your Intune will be able to deploy applications, and it can control patches, then it can do Intune autopilot. It can apply policies. Now next question. Sure, when this can do, and this can do the same thing, why do I need this? When an Azure AD Join can do the same thing, deploy application, control patches, Intune autopilot, and apply policies, why do I need hybrid Azure AD Join? It looks complicated, right? So The whole reason why do we need a hybrid Azure AD Join is lot of companies are not cloud ready yet. Hybrid AD Join is one step closer to become cloud ready. Okay, when I say cloud ready, they might have legacy applications. Vendors might not be having cloud apps. So many issues like this will be there. So client cannot even foresee those issues. Just to avoid that, they want to have both the environments. Once they have mitigated or once they have mitigated all their apps into cloud, then they will be anyhow moving forward to your Azure AD Join. This might happen about another 5 to 10 years approximately. It will take, because not every company is having the the finances or the budget to directly move to cloud overnight, and users also would not be accustomed to it. So users also should be accustomed to it slowly. Okay. Any questions on this? Are you ready, Join? Have you ready, Join? Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, okay. When speaking about this Azure AD Join and Hybrid AD Join, what happened? We seem to touch about your SCCM and Intune, right? Now, let me take up the differences between them. How and certain activities look within your SCCM, and what do we call that in our Intune. Let's draw parallels, okay? Let's try to draw parallels. Most of my classes would be for every class. If there is any parallel SCCM activity, which is in Intune, I will equate it so it will be easy for you to understand what is our end goal is. Okay. Now, first let me come and tell you. Okay, let me put about SCCM here, and let me put Intune here. Now, let's talk about a little bit about the advantages and disadvantages. Now, SCCM is completely on-premise. Yeah, obviously, you have your CMG and all those things. Okay, and Intune is completely cloud native. So for SCCM, you need SQL Server infrastructure, right? High infrastructure required. Whereas in Tune, all that you need is one browser to access the console. Okay, one browser, right? Now you need. So what happened here is in the SCCM. What else? What else you guys can think of? Okay, anything you guys can think of? Contribute here. Okay, you cannot. You can deploy applications more than 8 GB by default. Okay, application size is restricted to 8 GB or less than 8 GB. Greater control over patch management. When I say greater control over patch management, what I mean is you can choose the patch that you want to deploy. Whereas in Intune, you don't have, okay, you don't have option to choose the KB particle that you want to deploy. Then what else you guys can think of? Okay, image management. You need to deploy an entire ISO. Okay, deploy an entire ISO over network or using USB. Here just deploying profiles and converting existing OEM image into an corporate image. Okay. So like this, there are many differences which I'll go in detail as we do it in the class. Now let me show you a little bit about an application deployment. We do an app deployment on the end user machine. Okay, there are about 12 steps. Okay, that will happen. But let me show you overall the simplistic term for the demo purpose. How an app gets downloaded, where it will get downloaded, and where can you see the log. Now, what I have done is I have staged an Win32 application. Okay, this is my ongoing class. Okay, this particular lab you're seeing is an ongoing class. Now I have few Win32 apps that I have staged, and I have a virtual machine to which I have deployed. On the end user machine, let me show you how a workflow happens. Okay, on a simplistic terms. Now what I have done is I have basically published these apps as available in the company portal. I have published these apps as available in the company portal. Now I told you I am going to show you how it is getting downloaded and how it will be installed. Okay, so let me go to a couple of locations. That is going to be say /program 5686 Microsoft Intune Management Extension content income. So there are about 12 steps. I'll talk about those 12 steps in detail in the class. And here we're going to see a gist of it. Okay, then see Windows IME cache. Okay, I'm going to keep it in sync, and I have my log file. Okay, let me go ahead and open the log file as well. So my log file is present in C program data Microsoft Intune Management Extension. So let me right click, open with this. Your app management itself will be around 3 to 4 classes approximately. Okay, we'll see all the scenarios that you will see in the production. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and first let me try to install 7-zip app. Okay, I'm going to install the 7-zip app. Now just observe these two. Later we can see the log file. Just observe these locations. Okay, first see this here and then see here. Observe it. Just observe the window. Say it is downloading. Do you see here? It is a bin file. You cannot open it. It's a bin file. You cannot open it. Since I've installed a VLC file association recognizes the bin file. But normally you will just see a file here. You can see after that here you have your 7-zip app here. Okay, here you have your 7-zip app. Okay, that has been scripted. Okay, and now after this, observe, let the installation complete. It's installing in the backend. It's installing. After the installation complete, see, it got deleted. You saw both the files getting deleted, right? Now you can go to start menu. You can see your 7-zip app here. You can go to apples. You can see your 7-zip app here. Now this is the log file which will be used, where you'll be seeing the steps that is followed while deploying. So basically what happens is your Intune apps are encrypted. So when you upload, especially Win32 app, it will be encrypted and it will use SHA 256 encryption algorithm to encrypt. And while downloading, your Intune client will decrypt it in this location, or first it will download in this location, in the incoming location, then it will decrypt and it will put the actual file in the INA cache, and then after that your application will get installed. So like this, there are a few more steps or workflows that happen for your Win32. All of you guys are clear how an app gets deployed? Yeah?
Yes.
All of you? Yes. Yeah, like this you will be going. So mostly the class would be, say, if you go and click on, say you have a device, okay, if you go to Windows platform. Now here, if you go click on, let the devices come. Say if you go click on a particular device, and if you go click on your wipe, retire, delete, there are so many things that will happen in the background. So we will be seeing step by step so that you can decide which is suitable for your environment. Each business is different, right? So you have to create a best practice for your environment based on your business. So for that, only when you understand the backend workflows, okay, for important tasks, then you'll be able to create. So all of you guys are getting an idea of how your Intune class is going to be. And I hope all of
Yes.
you guys got this syllabus also. All of you guys have got this syllabus also.
Yeah, we got.
Yes. Got it.
Yes. So this particular class is mainly for assistant engineers who are going to, who are trying to transition into modern device management. Because we will be talking a lot about SCCM also, because you will use co-management, you will use patch deployment, we'll talk about workloads. So I'll be drawing parallels because clients will ask you which is the best tool to use. So you should be able to clearly state the advantages and disadvantages, and then leave it up to the client for them to decide. Okay, you have to put the facts in front of them for them to decide. Okay, this is what my planned demo was. I'll answer all your questions. Your questions can be about anything of end user computing. I'll try to answer them. Go ahead and ask your questions, guys. Guys, come on! And one more thing, my class is very interactive session. So interactive as in, I will be looking at your screen. When you're doing some activity, I'll ask you to share your screen. You will have to do the activity when I view your screen as well. Okay, once I show, I'll make sure you guys are able to do the same activity. Okay, so that you can have hands on. It will not be only me
Okay.
talking. It will be an interactive session. Okay, because what happens is some people will be silent, some people will be asking a lot of questions. So I would like to benefit uh, my skills to everybody. So I'll be asking guys to share your screens as well. So I hope all of you have virtual machine, or if you don't have virtual machine, I'll give you all the ISO also. I'll give you whatever is required for the uh, course. I'll give you. Make sure you have a just good laptop with at least 8 GB RAM or 16 GB RAM. That will really help you to do things faster. That's it.
Okay. So how, a question on this. I mean, like you should to ask questions. Like how this, I mean, like complete. How what is the duration of this, complete course?
Duration of the course is 5 weeks, close to 20 to 25 hours. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that also depends on how many students in the class. It might
Mm-hmm.
extend a little or it might be down a little because it all depends on how many students are there in the class. I will be concentrating and I normally limit it to less than 5 to 7 people, not more than that. I think.
Okay.
Because mine is an interactive class, I will not be only doing the lecturing, right? I'll be seeing what you guys are doing also. Imagine you're in a
Okay.
class, I'll be walking down to your machine and seeing what you are doing in the statements. That's very important for
Okay.
you to play that also.
And like how many hours a day you are planning?
1 hour a day. 1 hour a day,
Hmm.
7 to 8 will be the class.
Okay.
7
7
to
to 8 in
8
the
in the
morning, right?
morning or
Come again? Come
7 to 8
again?
in the
7 to
morning
8
or
in
in
the
the evening?
morning?
Morning, no class. Evening, 7 p.m. is the class. This particular demo was for 7 p.m. IST. Even that's the reason I put the demo. So the batch start date is 7 p.m. IST. On 25th of this Friday, I'm starting. 25th, 7 p.m. is the class. Sorry, not 25th, 23rd. I'm so sorry. It's 23rd. It's Friday, 23rd, 7 p.m.
So when you're starting 25th or 24th?
No, 23rd. 23rd, 7 p.m.
Okay. So
Okay.
we'll be
For your
so weekends.
Friday, Friday,
Okay.
7 p.m. is your first class. Okay. Only on weekdays.
Okay.
Okay. So what I will be doing is I'll be creating a WhatsApp group for all the people whom you enroll, and I'll be sharing the one day before the class. I'll be sharing the all the drives where you can download the softwares, you can download the ISOs and everything. You can build a Windows 10 machine, okay, in an environment and be ready for the class. Okay, so I'll be interacting with you one day before. That's on 22nd. I'll start interaction with all my students.
okay,
Yes.
I have one query, and this class will include this mobile devices like iOS and
No, this
Android.
class, yes, this class will not include mobile devices because I cannot show things practically. And in mobile devices, it's mostly onto the enrollment side. That you can just install a company portal and go forward from there. It will be more onto the Windows side. I mean, it's all about Windows side. This is for
So
SCCM
by
engineers.
so is there any chance of getting things to learn from the how to configure the policies? I know definitely you're going to cover the device policies. Like when it comes to the window, but
Application
nowadays,
configuration.
yeah. So when
Configuration is what
no,
we cover.
so nowadays companies also focusing of configuring the things for the mobile management as well, like mobile devices. I
Yes,
agree. I mean,
yes,
like
but
you're not showing the. Mhm.
it will not be from an SCCM engineer. So this is for people who are
Okay.
moving from SCCM engineer. SCCM engineers will 100% will not be asked to do a for mobile devices unless and until it's a one-man project or something. It's a very small company. Only then they might ask you to do it. Other than that, and even if they ask you to do it, it's not very complicated as well. If you know whatever I teach, you can learn that just by reading the articles. It's not a big thing. But for me, the
Okay.
whole thing is I cannot show those things practically because you need multiple devices and screen sharing is a. I'm still working on it, but still, I didn't find it practical for me to show that. So that's why I've not kept it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you also
Because if
going to
you're
cover anything
comparing
about the
Windows
graph
and
APIs and all?
no, I'll not be touching on graph APIs. It will become too complicated and it will get be confused if you don't understand these things. People who want to learn graph APIs first they should know Intune in and out. Then only the graph APIs will come. Okay, if you know only Intune and out, you can do graph APIs. It will be too complicated if I do all those things. Problem here is Sudarshan. People who come here are not people who are not for architects. People who are into 3 years, 5 years, maximum 7 to 10 years guys come. So what happens is they wouldn't have been in the end user computing code. So they would have been transitioned or learned SCCM. Now they'll be looking for a job. When looking for a job, they'll ask, do you know autopilot? Do you know what is happening in the autopilot? Do you know how to deploy application? When deploying application, what happens? How will you troubleshoot? Do you know how to enrollment? What will happen during enrollment? These are things nobody going to ask. Okay, build me a report, do the graph API, do me the troubleshooting. It's not going to be the case. But yes, we can discuss about it. But to do a graph API also, they will not be having access also. Intune administrator can do, but most of them will have an RBAC access, very controlled access. Okay, so that's the reason I have not kept that also. If they don't gain the confidence, then my whole class will go for a waste by complicating things.
Okay.
Intune will be covered, right? In and out, everything.
With my class, if you go to a job interview and if you have just put my course content in your resume in a more polished way, if you put it, then you will get, because I myself take Intune interviews and say if I ask for enrollment, hardly that guy will tell maximum automatic enrollment or sometimes a group policy enrollment. There are close to 7 to 8. They don't even talk about those. So it's all about in and out what is required for production. You will learn and you will learn it practically. Okay, by the demo you would have understood by now how the class will be. This is how all of my classes will be.
I hope at least I can clear the interview after the training session.
Yeah, actually, my students are able to clear the interviews, and I'm getting, most of the guys who are into this SCCM, they're able to clear the interviews for it as well. So I'm not seeing any issues. Last week, one of my students, she was in a 9 lakhs package, she got about 14 lakhs package, and that was completely in Intune role. Yeah. So the stupid questions, anything also is fine. It's not only Intune, SCCM, everything also fine.
Question on SCCM, I know this is not the right,
No, go ahead, ask. If I know, I'll tell you definitely. Please ask.
Whatever as you mentioned, you're also give the trainings for SCCM. I'm only looking, for the OSD part, imaging deployment from the SCCM. So do you have any kind of course material with you?
OSD part, no, I don't have a course as such because OSD is so vast. See, ultimately, you play with the task sequence engine. You will either do an in-place update or you will do a bare installation. So all that you have to do is you should know how a boot image works, and how only boot image works, how does boot image works, and how does the your task sequence works with your boot image. This this is a basic thing. If you know, everything else can be handled. And the most important one is you should know how a DHCP works. For most of the people, most of the image management guys, what they do mistake is they'll only see the console, but in the back end, only if your DHCP assigns the IP, the task sequence will start working. They'll be looking at when the task sequence start loading, they'll be thinking why my image is not working. Why my image not coming? It's all because proper IP should be assigned. So with that angle, if you see, then most of the things will start with task sequence. I don't have this thing because I only go these days. I only troubleshoot if there is a major escalations. I stopped getting into this almost 2-3 years back of more of into this core SCCM. I don't do a hands-on and day-to-day job these days.
Yeah, actually, why I'm looking for this thing,
I started actually, my 2011. So,
Okay. Actually, why I was asking this question, because one of my client is looking for a zero touch kind of build. So I know this things from the SCCM, but
be careful
sorry.
when you see the word zero touch. It's a big trap. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
It's a big trap. Be careful. Okay. Because see, I tell you, it also depends on how the client is and how understanding they are. As soon as you plug into the machine, they want the end user to work, but they'll give you so many apps for you to put in.
Correct.
There are a lot of issues that comes in. Be very, very careful with zero touch. And and one more thing is, you have to basically name the computer. The computer naming also will be a problem. Okay, when it comes to zero touch. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, there are a lot of things actually.
Yeah, it's too many things. Zero touch. We have actually gone back to our pre-sales team. We have actually argued, please don't ever put zero touch in contracts. It's creating a lot of problems for us. Sales team will tell, okay, zero touch we will do. The time client comes to us, their environment will not support zero touch. What can we do?
Mm, correct.
Okay, okay, guys. Guys, those of you did not leave the phone numbers, please do leave the phone numbers in the chat, and they will only call you once. If not interested, they'll not disturb you. That's my deal with those guys, because I give your numbers to them, so to connect with you to if you're interested in the class or not. Okay, please do leave your phone numbers in the chat if you're not. Fee details and everything I don't handle. You will have to talk to the institute. They'll only handle. Mine is only course. I don't touch anything regarding the monetary stuff. Anything else? I have another couple of minutes. And class will be quite interactive. So be ready. You guys should talk in the class. Okay, only then the class will be beneficial. It's not going to be like me dictating something or you doing what I tell you to do. Okay, so if you don't understand something, you have to ask. I'll try to tell you again. Anything else, guys? Yes, Hare Krishna, you unmuted. You have anything to say? Okay, guys. Then we'll conclude the class, and I hope see most of you guys on 23rd. Yeah, take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.